Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings for Everton 3, Chelsea 1. A fantastic victory for Everton at Goodison Park. Obviously, Duncan Ferguson's first, maybe only, who knows, chance of managing Everton at the moment. And it really all did go down to plan. It really did. Coming into this game, I wasn't too worried about Chelsea. But when I seen the team sheet and I seen there was no Mina, and I didn't think it was going to be, I didn't realise it was going to be 4-4-2. And I just looked at the team, and the team just didn't look like there had been much of change. And it sort of filled me with dread. Because I just wanted it to go well for Duncan. Because I just think as a person, as an Evertonian, I think he deserved that. I really do. And I know a lot of people have different opinions about him, whether it be as a player or as a coach. I don't think a lot of people truly understand what his job is as being as a coach, and the fact that as a coach you are an employee and you can't always show the passion you want to show, or you are given a job. Maybe sometimes as the coach, he was the coach of the strikers, and maybe that's when Dominic Calvert-Lewin was doing better. And then maybe he was taken away from being the coach, and maybe someone else who was a former striker in the Premier League and played for Fulham and Arsenal was given the job of coaching the strikers, and suddenly then the strikers become crap. They're just things that I don't think people appreciate. So I'm absolutely delighted that today it all just fell in place for him. I really am. Whether it continues, I don't know. Whether you could continue just playing like that today, I don't know. I think it would have to evolve, but it doesn't matter. For today, it worked. Hard work, passion, and ethos got us through that game. It's as simple as that. Obviously, we started well with a goal and just basically scored at the right times. Basically just scored at the right times, didn't we? Early on, give us that something to get behind when I think there was nervousness at the beginning. Then got the second, okay, they scored, but obviously scoring with 5 minutes to go. I mean, imagine if it had gone into 2-1 with then 6 minutes had gone up on the board. Jesus Christ. So everything worked out well. Even just little touches of good luck, like the subs with Bernard not coming on before Wilcott went down injured. Do you know what I mean? Just like little things went for him today. And it just shows that hard work, and we've said this for so long on the show, is that you've got to have that base. You've got to have a team built on hard work, and all the other things come. You can't go out there every week and go, oh, we're just going to knock it around today. I'm going to play 8,000 passes. The hard work has got to be the base, and you can build from that. I don't think you can add hard work to a wishy-washy passing round the back four kind of thing. And what's mad is, watching today's game, you don't even realise, we haven't really realised what we've been missing as Evertonians, because we've just not had it for so long, of having that commitment. And this is why so many people go back to the David Moyes years and go, oh, I missed that. It's because you got performances like that, where no one's really giving you a chance to win it, but you win it because you capitalise on their mistakes, and you get the luck you deserve from the hard work. You can have all the stats you want in the world, but hard work trumps everything at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong, if two teams work equally as hard, the better team should and will always win the game. But, some days, Chelsea didn't work as hard as us today, and we capitalised on it, and it was just fantastic. The goals are all... Richarlison's goal was like a Duncan Ferguson header, and then a number 9 scores the 2 other goals, and it just... Dom was... I mean, we'll go into it in the playing ratings, but Dom was excellent today, and yeah, it all just worked out brilliantly, and I'm absolutely delighted for everyone, for absolutely everyone, for getting people to just understand what Everton are. That's Everton. That's Everton. Forget about whether, long ball, short ball, whatever. That's Everton. That's the feeling you're supposed to have when you go to the game. That's the feeling. You're not supposed to sit there and just be like, oh, go on. You're supposed to be involved as a fan, and you're supposed to make every tackle that the player tackles. You head in every header. You attack every ball as a fan. That's the way it should be. And that comes from your manager and comes into the players. And I've said this for so long about our managers, and I said it about Marco Silva and his passion There's passionlessness. I don't even know if that's a word. Passionlessness. Ness on the off the pitch. It doesn't. You look over and you think that's my manager. Duncan was, and listen, they have it, don't they? And people criticise. And you know what? For a while, I've been like, you know what? I wouldn't mind a bit of that. I wouldn't mind showing that people actually care. And when they do care, you forgive them a little bit. You forgive them for whatever it is. And as Evertonians, we've always done that. We've always forgiven players with lesser talent, as long as they run through that brick wall for, as long as they wear that shirt with pride. And what you want and what you've got to find and what you've got to inspire is players with more talent to do that for you. And that's the hardest thing in the modern game. And that's why the teams who win the league have that. They have players. It's why they're top of the league. It's because the manager inspires players to be better and also run through brick walls for them. And we've seen a little bit of that today, and it was great. Let's start. Listen, by the way, the Braytons are not going to be like everyone's getting a 12 because they're not. They're not. I will, you know, that's as simple as that. They're not. Jordan Pickford, I'll give him a 6. I thought he should have done better for the goal. Although I did feel like, I still think it was offside. Still think the goal was offside. The lad is basically standing in front of him. When he dives, he has to dive behind him. And I thought he was offside. But I thought he should have done better. His kicking wasn't great either. Some of his kicking was good, but some of it was just stupid at times, giving the ball back to them when he shouldn't have been. So I've given him a 6. Sirby, 7. I thought going forward was excellent. At times was a little bit, no, 7.5. 7.5. At times I thought he was a little bit exposed at times, but going forward he was excellent, and he kept going all the time. Kept, you know, if he lost the ball, he made sure he won it back. Showed a passion, real passion. You know, you can fault the lad at times. Sometimes last week he was sound, then Liverpool he was rubbish, and then back today he was back good again. He's not really doesn't really defend for you, does he? And if he does defend, he's defending in their half. But he got forward and he gave them a real problem all day. So I thought, you know, he's got an intensity about him, a real intensity about him that, as I said, sometimes can let him down. But what I did like is, there was times when he went forward and Snidland come over and took his place. Now, okay, Snidland can't really, you know, hasn't really got the pace he has. But he just filled into the role. And there's little things like that I noticed today, little differences. On the other side, Luca Dini obviously went off injured. Again, didn't have a great game, I don't think. There was one in the first half, Williams sort of left him to dead with a nice little double touch. I didn't think he was great at all. I'll give him a 5. I think he defended. No, that's harsh. I'll give him a 6. I think defensively he was okay, and he got a couple of blocks in and a couple of tackles. Going forward, didn't think he was great. Again, he misses Bernard in front of him. So I'll give him a 6. Centre backs, Mason Holgate. Thought Mason had a really good game. Well, had a good game. Was pretty solid. Didn't do anything stupid. Concentrated all the time. I'll give him a 7. Michael Keane, I thought was poor. Personally, I don't know whether it's still the confidence issues or what, but he made one in the first half. Would give the ball straight to them. Anytime they wanted to put the ball over his head, they could do it quite easily. So I'm giving him a 5. People might disagree. I don't know why. I just didn't think he was good. Maybe later on in the, I'll give him a 6. I'm thinking as I'm going along. Later on in the game, he did put his head in the way of a few things. He did grow into the game a bit, but I didn't think he was great. I'm just being nice now. I'll give him a 6 because he did towards the end when we were under a little bit of pressure. He did get himself in the way of a few things. So yeah, I'm probably just on a bit of a high, aren't I? So yeah. Into midfield, obviously 2 in midfield, Snidland and Sigurdsson. They both play really well. It suited both of them. Sigurdsson plays in a 4-4-2 for Iceland. He knew what his job was today. He knew he had 2 centre forwards in front of him. He knew not to play in that little hole behind the forward. He was involved more. He was tackling more. He was getting stuck in a little bit like he was against Leicester. Snidland the same. Snidland had a really good game. So Sigurdsson I'll give a 7, and Snidland I'll give a 7.5. I just thought he was marginally better. But both of them are getting stuck in. People were all over the pitch were getting stuck in. What the stat was, there was more tackles. We committed more tackles than any time in the last decade today. I mean, that just shows you straight away. And this was no one talking about stats and all the rest of it and expected goals and all this nonsense. To me, the only stats that matter today are the goal, the score. And even though the possession was quite low, we had more shots than them, so I'll put that in as well. And the tackles, it meant we were trying to break it up. Because they're a very good side, really good on the counter-attack as well. And we had to get into our shape and be tough. And the tackles were a big part of midfield to break it up. I thought Kanté was magnificent for them, by the way. He basically ran the game. But, you know, those two in the centre midfield did really, really well today. Really, really well. So fair play to them. They've come under a lot of criticism. But I think Duncan just made it very simple for them. Go and play centre midfield and just get in there, get in people's faces. And when you get a chance, try and do something with it. But most importantly is keep the shape. So I think both of them did really well. On the right, Theo Walcott. I'll give him a 7. I thought he was always a good outlet. He tried to take a couple of times. See, second half, he had one where he just knocked it past their player, legged onto it and had a shot at goal. And I actually think if one of our players who went forward had just hung back a little bit, they would have had a tap in from the penalty spot. But he was forced to shoot because everyone run to the box. But then there was another one second half where he tried to take Kanté on, where it's just like knocking past him again. You've done it already to one of their players, do it again. I thought he put a real shift and I really did. Really give us an outlet as well at times, and worked really hard. On the other side, the Wobie was the complete opposite to me. I thought he was appalling. I thought he was really, really poor out there today. I'm going to give him a 4. I thought he was abysmal. Really, really abysmal. I just don't think he wanted. There was a couple of times where it was like 50-50s and he let there was one towards the end where he had the ball and he was coming out of our box and we'd been under the cosh with it. And he basically just run into no man's land and let the player take the ball off him and then they started again. Instead of, I don't know, just doing something with it, trying to knock it ahead of him, trying to beat him in a foot race or knocking it into the corner, or even just knocking it into the corner and going, I'm going to chase after this. He felt every 50-50 got knocked off it. His decision making was awful for me today. I thought it was. I'd have dragged him off a lot sooner. Maybe Duncan was just trying to keep the shape and thought Bernard maybe was a little bit lightweight. But physically, Iwobi's got to do a lot more, a hell of a lot more, because you're just getting pushed off it. And that to me didn't. Everyone else put something into it, and even like Theo Walcott on the other side, he wouldn't be just pushed off the ball. He fought for everything, and I just don't think Iwobi did that for me today. I thought he was our worst player. I just thought he had a really, really poor game. He was asked to do a job, and it might be what he wants to do, but he just didn't do it for me. The two lads up front, Richarlison, I thought he was excellent. Very surprised he got took off, actually. Very, very surprised, because he's someone who will run through a brick wall for you. But the manager obviously decided that it was one thing I will say about the sub, I'm delighted that he made the sub at 2-1. He looked at the situation when something's got to change here and made sure he done it. Was it what I thought? No, I didn't. I thought he'd take Iwobi off and put Richarlison on the left and maybe put Dom up front on his own and have 3 in centre midfield. But he didn't. He sort of... Well, he took Richarlison off, and Richarlison was sort of playing as a split striker. And I think he sort of said to Tom, sort of fill that role in, but be in midfield. Richarlison took his goal brilliantly. Brilliant header. One that Duncan would be proud of. It's 3-3 for him. So really, really good goal. And I think he benefited from having that free role, but playing still centrally. I think he really benefited from playing in a split striker. And again, Duncan Ferguson recognising that from being a striker himself. I'm not saying he's like a genius or something, but this is sometimes all it takes. Looking at individuals and going, can you do a certain job? No, but can you do it as a pair? And that's what he looked at today, and that's what he looked at Dom. So I'll give Richarlison an 8. I thought he was really, really good. Really, really good. Worked hard, put a shift in. You could tell it meant something to him. You could tell when he come off that he was gutted he was coming off. A little bit of anger in there, I like that. And he worked really hard, took his goal brilliantly well. So I've given him an 8. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin thought it was his best performance in an Everton shirt. And no coincidence that he was playing as the number 9 with Duncan Ferguson's confidence and leadership behind him and telling them to win every... That was the thing. We were going long, of course we were going long, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin was winning all the flicks and Richarlison was getting onto them. But he was winning them and then getting himself back into position. They couldn't handle that ball and him. He wins everything. And it reminded me of towards the end of last season. But the difference was that he got his rewards and he got two goals. Both of them, his first one, he takes it really, really well. Benefits from a bit of a defensive mix-up. Same with the second one. They're strikers' goals. That's what you want. Tammy Abrams is having a great season because of that, because that's what he's doing. He's in the 6-yard box, and that's where he's getting the chance. And I thought I thought Don was brilliant. His all-round game was brilliant today. It really was. And you could see what it means to him. It's a young lad who's been at Everton for a few years now. You know, all right, he didn't come through the academy, but as far as we're concerned, he's one of ours. And again, people haven't backed him all the time. They're too busy writing him off. Whereas Duncan has given him a chance today. And I'm not saying he'll do that every week for us. But you've seen with the performance towards the end of the season, and like a performance like that today, does he need a little bit more anger in his belly? Yes, he does. But if you give him a task to do, and he's got players alongside and not understand what their roles are in that, I think you've got a decent striker on your hands. Okay, maybe not like an amazing striker, maybe not like a 1 and 2 goal striker, but maybe a goal every 3 games, which is exactly what we need. If he's scoring and McPartland scoring, then we're going to go up the table a lot faster. So I thought he was excellent today. You get a 9 from me. Clearly man of the match. Fantastic, and I'm delighted for him. The subs, Tom, who I mentioned, he come on. Wasn't great. Helped set the 3rd goal. Wasn't great. A few passes that he gave away where I thought he should have done a little bit better. So I'll give him a 6. Wasn't quite on it when he come on. I'll give him a 6. I'm trying to think who else come on. Luke Baines come on, obviously. And I know that was like special, that. Because he came on, come on at left back, obviously. Dean got a little knock. But at the end, when you see him, they've been at the club for a long time, both of them. You see it means so much to them. Don't see that much of Baines, so it was nice that he was involved in this. So I'll give Baines a 6 as well. Didn't really do that much, but defended well towards the end of the game. And Bernard was. He never really got into the game, did he? Never really got into it, and physically it looked a bit of a mismatch. So I'll give him a 5. But I mean, that's just because he just didn't do anything essentially. But no, fantastic victory, much needed victory as well. And the games coming up now don't look as scary, do they? I think now, Man United away, you know, we'll see. And then Arsenal home. If we can get into Arsenal like we got into these today, Arsenal will be all over the gaff. So, and then we got Burnley. So, you put that performance in, that level of work rate in against 14 other Premier League teams, you'll win. You'll win. Simple as that. Because we've got the quality. But that's what's been missing, the heart and the passion. And it was there today, and that's why we got the 3 points. So I'm delighted for Duncan. I know how much this club means to him. I really do. And when people call him like an Everton legend and all that, and then people snigger at that, he's not an Everton legend, but he's a hero. He's a cult hero. And the reason he's a hero is, and this is why he's always been a hero, is because it feels like he represents the fan when he was on the pitch, or now he's on the sideline, or whatever. You know he's an Evertonian. You know it means everything to him. You know that. And that's why people love him. You know, you get these, you know, it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. He loves the club. He's one of us. And I hope he's at the club forever, for absolutely ever. And whatever the role he's got, I don't care. I just want him to be at the club forever, because he's absolute Evertonian through and through. Simple as that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Check out my match reaction. Check out Baz's videos as well. It's been a good day. Imagine if we won like all the time. Imagine I'd have the smile surgically removed off my face. It just makes all of us just feel so good and changes everything. Everything, doesn't it? Absolutely everything. So, yeah. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Click the bell for alerts. You know exactly when our videos are coming out, especially live videos. If something breaks, which you never know, do you? You never know. Kovac was at the game today. What's all that about? And if you want more videos, join us over on Patreon. Honestly, £3 a month, it's worth it. Honestly, it's worth it. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Live videos every single day. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. I'll see you later.